Hi everyone, this is David, and welcome to Top 10 Email Hacks. Let's start with something you already know all too well. You've got mail. As a matter of fact, you've probably got way too much mail. You probably feel like you're drowning in it, the lifeblood of each day slipping away as you face the constant influx of emails. According to a report from the Radicati Group in 2017, the typical worker sent and received about 120 business emails per day. Keep in mind, that doesn't include personal emails. Combining the two almost doubles the total to 225. And this is an average. Your number could be higher. The cost? In 2013, Mashable estimated that, on average, email takes up 28% of a worker's day. 28%. According to the McKinsey Global Institute, that 28% makes email, quote, the most time-consuming work activity that today's worker engages in. No wonder many analysts call today's email overload a global epidemic. Putting dollar signs on this epidemic can really make you sick. Tom Cochran, writing for the Harvard Business Review, did just that for his mid-sized company. Cochran calculated average typing speed, reading speed, response rate, volume of email, average salary, and total employees. The bottom line? Each email in his company costs 95 cents, with a yearly expenditure of over $1 million due to email pollution. Need some help? No problem. Since email is the primary communication medium in the work world, surely your undergraduate degree prepared you for it. Let's count the number of courses where you studied email, the form of writing that you'll spend almost 1/3 of your day doing. Drum roll, please, and the number is... Oh, I'm sorry. But look at it this way. You have strong motivation for this presentation. Top 10 email hacks. They can make your life and your job a lot easier. And you don't need an alert email to tell you that. Let's start with the number one complaint about emails, and therefore the number one way to improve them. Write clear, detailed subject lines. Subject lines tell us if and when we need to read an email. Vague subject lines waste time. They force you to open the email in order to find out its importance. Here are 3 rules for subject lines. They should clearly indicate subject matter, purpose, action to be taken, if applicable. Let's look at an example. Note the progression from a 2-word phrase that vaguely indicates subject matter, staff meeting, to the middle column that adds date and time and the type of staff meeting, biweekly. And finally, to the last subject line which adds purpose, biweekly staff meeting for updates, December 12, etc. With the last subject line, the receiver knows exactly what's in the email, its purpose, and what action is needed and when it is needed. That's a good subject line. Let's look at another example. We go from sick leave policies, a vague indication of subject matter, to a clear definition of subject matter and purpose, review and approval of proposed sick leave policies. In the subject line on the far right, we learn the action required of the recipient and when it is due. Need your review and approval by end of day. Once you see the difference between a bad subject line and a good one, how can you ever go back? So let's go on to hack number 2. Stop writing and start outlining to improve skim value. The second most common complaint about emails is that they're hard to read, with the real content buried in a tossed salad of words. The fix is simple. Reduce the number of paragraphs you use. When you do use a paragraph, keep it to 1 to 3 lines. But most important, use lists and an outline format as much as possible. They will automatically reduce the number of paragraphs. Let's look at this example. Hi, Tom. How are you? I hope you had a great weekend. Customarily, I wouldn't involve you in such matters, but I thought I'd give you a bit of background information on a report I'm working on. It's all about the future direction of the company and how we can circumvent our main competitor. I would like to know our annual turnover at the moment. It would also help if I knew what our projected annual turnover for the next 3 years might be, if you would. And if you know what percentage of our annual turnover is contributed by our leading product, that would be super helpful. I'd really like to incorporate these financial facts and figures into the report, and I look forward to your input. Best, Keisha. Did you have the same urge as me while reading this? To cry out, please, just tell me what you want. Now, let's take a look at the same request, written in a way that saves time, money, and aggravation because it uses list and outlining. Hi, Tom. I need some financial data for a report I'm working on. Specifically, I need to know. And there they are, 1, 2, and 3. Could you please email me the answers to these questions by the end of the week? Thanks, Keisha. Now note how the outline format makes the email skimmable. Tom doesn't have to dig in to find out what's requested. He can quickly skim the email and know what Keisha wants in less than half the time. Thank you. Hack number 3. Specify the desired reader response. How many times have you read an email and, at the end, still not know what the sender wanted? Specifying the desired reader response begins in the subject line, as we've seen. Request for 3 items of financial info from you. Also notice how the desired reader response is reinforced several times in the body of the email with the lines, specifically, I need to know, and could you please email the answers to these questions by the end of the week. 3 more tips on how to get the reader response you want. 1. If you want people to take action, be sure to put their names in the to line, not the CC line. 2. With multiple recipients, make it clear who is responsible for what by listing each name with the action item next to it. And 3, always provide a specific deadline. Okay, hack number 4, avoid socializing. In the workplace, emails are designed to be a quick, direct form of communication. Unless you know for sure that socializing in a business email is appropriate and desired, leave it out. For the vast majority, I assure you, you will not be considered rude if you get to the point quickly and politely. So that means it's time to bluff it. Hack number 5. BLUF stands for bottom line up front, and it means you should state your purpose in the email's opening sentence, which is limited to 1 to 2 lines. This is easy to do because virtually all business emails can be divided into 3 purposes, which should be stated up front or bluffed in the email's opening. One purpose is to inform. The purpose of this email is to outline our current policy on overtime. Second major purpose, to persuade. Below is a proposal for limiting ad drop-offs in the 4th quarter that can ensure profitability. And the third most common, to request. Please review the following changes to our telework policy and indicate your approval or need for further revision. There are 2 reasons to bluff. First, it guarantees that you, the writer, are crystal clear on what your purpose is before you send the email. Second, for the recipient, bluffing signals exactly what he/she should look for without having to guess, therefore increasing efficiency. So, before sending, make sure your email passes the top of the screen test, especially for today's mobile devices. Assume the reader will look only at the first screen of the email. Will they see your request, know your purpose, get the important information? If not, bluff a little higher. Hack number 6, observe email etiquette. By now, everyone knows to turn off the caps locks, but here are 5 rules that are commonly ignored. 1. Modify subject lines during long email threads. Doing so indicates the most recent email and can save recipients from having to reread emails to find the one they want. 2. Set up your signature line to appear automatically so that recipients always know who you are and how to contact you. 3. Resist reply all unless it's truly necessary, which it rarely is. Reply all is the #1 contributor to email pollution. 4. Observe the 24-hour rule. Never send an email if you're upset. Wait until the next day and try again. Negative emotions play no constructive role in professional communications and can hinder your career or even threaten your job. 5. Avoid irony, sarcasm, and other attempts at humor that can be misunderstood in the cold black and white world of email. Play it straight. If there's any doubt, exit out. Someday, you'll be glad you did. Hack number 7. Focus on solutions, not problems. There's something about email and being online in general that creates a false sense of protection and the urge to hide behind it. This can lead to inappropriate forms of emotional sharing in emails, from personal complaints to criticizing bosses and colleagues. Don't buy into those distractions. Your purpose in the professional workplace is to move your organization forward in a positive direction. Finding who or what to blame should always take a second seat to solutions. Stay focused on the positive in your emails. A subtopic of this is ducking. This means sending an email when we really should pick up the phone or walk down the hall. If you ever ask yourself, should I be saying this face to face? The answer is always to stop typing and pick up the phone or get out of the chair. Hack number 8. Categorize your emails. Not all emails are created equal. Some are apples, some are oranges, some are lemons. Categorizing your emails as you receive them can save you time. If an email requires immediate action, respond immediately. Don't let it wait around to be lost in your inbox clutter, forcing you to spend time to find it later, or worse, forget about it. Use a filter to automatically shunt emails you were CC'd on into a CC folder. These emails are to keep you informed and don't require action. Therefore, you can read them later. If the email is a request or question that isn't for you, read it, then immediately delete it. Or forward it to the person you think can best handle it, then delete it. Your goal is to maintain an empty inbox. Dealing with email in this way gets you out of the habit of treating your inbox like a to-do list. Hack number 9. The best way to end an email. Boomerang.com conducted a study of 350,000 emails from 20 different online communities. The study focused on types of email closings and the number of responses they generated. What Boomerang found is significant. Thankful closings generated significantly higher response rates. Here are their findings. At the top, you see that thanks in advance and thanks received nearly 20% higher response rates than the average or baseline email. And here's a big surprise. One of the most popular ways of ending an email generated the worst response rates. As you can see at the bottom, the best way to end an email is to avoid the word best in favor of some form of thanks, all of which significantly outperform any of the other closings. Okay, time for our final hack. Obey the rules. Virtually every company, for legal reasons, issues terms of use guidelines for their email systems. These guidelines can differ significantly from company to company, so nothing in this presentation should be taken to override any terms of use issued by your employer. But, interestingly, some companies go beyond terms of use and issue their own email writing guidelines. Here's one set from FedEx. Note how similar many of these guidelines are to the email hacks in this presentation. FedEx and I both want you to keep it short, keep it simple, keep it clear, and don't send it to anyone you don't have to. Okay, I hope these hacks improve your ability to handle the email burden that is a part of every professional's life today.